Romulus and Remus founded the city on 7 hills in present-day Italy. They drove out the hated Etruscan king in 509 BCE. They set up a new government called a republic, and it was also known as the Thing of the People. Roman citizens chose officials to represent them. Their goal was to keep any individual from gaining too much. Go.
Originally, the Senate was the most powerful governing body with 300 members, who debated and voted on foreign affairs, laws, and finances. Senators served for life were initially just made up of wealthy upperclassmen. Patricians versus plebeians. Patricians were members of the landholding upper class. Plebeians, the farmers, merchants, artisans, traders, and who made up the bulk of population, had little influence in the government.
Right.
The Roman Republic was led by Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar is thought as a hero by the plebeians, and by the Senate he was thought as an evil man that just wanted power, which wasn't necessarily false. He bribed the plebeians with food, oil, entertainment, and public baths. Julius Caesar died at the age 56 on March 15, 44 BCE. He sat at his golden chair like usual, and a bunch of conspirators, which they were called liberators, hid their knives under their togas and attacked him and stabbed him 23 times until he died. After his death, Brutus was supposed to become in charge of the Roman Republic, but that's not how it happened. His great-grandnephew, who was Octavian,
Romans were most fit to govern. When Augustus came to power, Roman control was already spread far. Under Augustus's rule, a period of stability plus prosperity, or Roman peace, began, also known as Pax Romana. It lasted about 200 years. People and goods traveled easily. Trade with Asia and Africa thrived. When you're struggling for power, he ignored Senate and its laws. When he won control, he changed that due to his fate.
They left most people conquered and free, although they took some slaves. Augustus divided the empire into provinces. An area of the empire had a Roman governor supported by an army. Romans did not force a way of life on their conquered people. They were free to practice any religions, and they really didn't interfere with them, but they did keep watch.
Five good emperors. Augustus died in 14 AD, and although the Pax Romana continued, there were good and bad rulers. Two of the worst emperors were Caligula and Nero. In AD 96, there were five good emperors: Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus Pius, and Marcus Aurelius. Hadrian was the best because he issued a code of laws, reorganized the army so the soldiers were able to rule their own provinces, and encouraged learning. The last was Marcus Aurelius, who chose his son Commodus to follow him. He was cruel and brutal, so it ended the Pax Romana. Many Romans visited Greece to study Greek art, architecture, and ideas about the government.
Caligula was greedy and took vast money. He drank precious pearls dissolved in vinegar. He was ugly and tried to make himself look like a girl by dressing up in girls' clothes. He built a 2-mile floating bridge off the Bay of Bali so he could spend 2 days galloping his horse across it. Nero was also crazy. He was 17 when he took the throne. He killed his wife plus himself. He burned people in bonfires for the light. He blamed Christians for the giant fire in Rome and made a statue of himself in the middle of the city. Both Nero and Caligula were crazy people that killed many people during their reign as emperor. Gladiators used to fight in the Colosseum. The Colosseum was a giant structure built by the Romans where people would go to be entertained.
This is Sparta!
Religion. They both practiced monotheism and offered prayers and sacrifices to their gods. Some of the gods and goddesses were Zeus, Minerva, and Hercules. Building on ideas. They used the Greeks' ideas to build things and help build their empire. Architecture and technology. The first copied Etruscan art, then Greek sculptures and arches, and then developed their own, the Roman style. They built statues, buildings were heavier and stronger than the Greeks. Used arches built with bricks and marble, developed concrete. The Colosseum. Possibly the best Roman building, the Colosseum is the site of contests and combat between people and animals like gladiators. And it held 50,000 spectators. It had elevators, floors could be funded in actual books. Yeah.
The laws of Rome. Justinian used Roman laws to create justice. No one suffers a penalty for what he thinks. No one may be forcefully removed from his own house. The burden of proof is upon the person who accuses. In inflicting penalties, the age and inexperience of the guilty party must be taken into account. Justinian's Code.
Decline of the Roman Empire with Marcus Aurelius died, Constantine took power, and Commodus took power. This made the empire less healthy and stable, which caused a bad government. The fall of Rome was caused by Rome not being able to stop barbarians, and the emperor was almost powerless. The Roman army was unable to resist the invading armies of the North Thebes because no emperor ruled after Rome after Augustus.